Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is Nick Petro at the National Weather Service in Raleigh with your 4:30 webinar and update to the winter storm situation here affecting the region. And as this title and introduction slide demonstrates, we have upgraded the winter storm watches to warnings for a large portion of our area, not all of it. So you can see the pink is the winter storm warnings. The blues represent where the watches are still in effect. So those could get still upgraded to warnings, or they may get upgraded to advisories. So stay tuned for that as things become a little bit clearer as we head through the evening and tonight. So anyway, what about changes since our 11:30 briefing? There have been a few changes since we last met 5-6 hours ago. We now have winter storm warnings in effect, as I mentioned. The earlier onset, I wanted to point that out. Light snow may arrive in the triad as early as 2 or 3 p.m. Friday. So late afternoon and evening commute in that area could be affected with some light snow coating. I don't think it's going to be a huge accumulation, but it could be enough that, I wouldn't roll out a slick elevated surfaces or a few bridges that are slick for the commute home. Maybe really late in the normal traditional time where the buses are still on the road for schools and such. So keep that in mind. Things may get going a little earlier in the afternoon, particularly across the triad. Elsewhere across central North Carolina, the light rain may arrive by 3 p.m., so it might come in a little earlier, but I want to highlight the word rain because we do expect it to be warm enough for rain. Basically, we're talking areas south of the Interstate 85 corridor. There's been another slight shift northward in the axis of where we think the heaviest snow will occur. Earlier today I was talking about the models have been trending warmer. That's continued through the afternoon. That will affect the weather across particularly south and east of Raleigh. We did add a freezing rain ice accumulation map to this briefing, and gosh, it's going to get cold when we get to the late in the weekend. Single-digit low temperatures expected Sunday night. So those are the changes since the last briefing. This map here is meant to provide a sense for when the precipitation is going to start, when we may see precipitation type transitions, and when it's going to end. So definitely take a closer look at this when you get those briefing slides in your email. In fact, I already emailed everyone the slides, so you should have that in your inbox. Take a look at this if you're wondering when the precipitation is going to start, when it's going to end, and when it's going to transition. But the bottom line is we think the best chance for it to start as snow and stay snow is north of this white line right here, basically along and north of Interstate 85. Elsewhere, it could start as a mixture of various precipitation types. I think the best chance for it to start and stay rain the longest is in the southeast, the southern I-95 corridor, the Sandhills region, the southern coastal plain. This area here may in fact see precipitation. It'll come in, between 3 and 6 p.m., but it'll come in as rain and probably stay rain right through much of the overnight hours, actually Friday night. It's this in-between section here that's the most, in terms of mixture. I do expect it to start as rain in all these areas here in the middle, but various changeover times to sleet and freezing, sleet and snow. So anyway, I'll let everyone take a look at that when you get these slides in your email. But the bottom line is snow starting earlier in the afternoon and remaining all snow across the triad. Rain starting early and staying rain into the overnight hours across the south and southeast. And then just sort of a mixture of rain, snow, and sleet in this area here, right through, tomorrow evening, overnight. Now, I will say that all areas should change to all snow. The places that aren't snow will change to snow around or shortly after sunrise Saturday, and then everything ends from west to east during the afternoon. So anyway, that's the start, end, and transition times. As it relates to impact severity, I'll come back to this here in a minute. Let me show some amounts, I think, and I'll come back to the slides I just passed up here. But in terms of snowfall, this is what we think the most likely snowfall amounts are going to be based on our current forecast. Again, we still think there could be some more changes to this, and we do think our southern and southeast sections could see even a lower amounts than this because of that transition or that rain hanging on longer than what we earlier expected. So greatest risk for the half a foot of snow, we're talking, basically from eastern Randolph County, Chatham, right through the Triangle region up toward Lewisburg, Nashville, up toward Roanoke Rapids, maybe as far south as Wilson and Tarboro. So that's where we could, see, that half a foot of snow. This is our new product. It's called the Range of Possibilities. I'll talk, after the briefing, I'll give a little demo of the web page, but basically, the map in the middle is the one I just showed on the previous slide. The map on the lower left is, expect at least this much. This is what we see as the least amount that this storm can produce in terms of snow. This is in other words, it's pretty much a guarantee that this blue area is going to see 1 to 2 inches of snow, almost a guarantee. Now, if the worst of the worst case scenario evolved and it stayed cold and the storm intensified, this is the absolute worst amounts it could be, the maximum potential. Honestly, I don't think this is looking less and less likely as a scenario. In fact, these even may be a much for some areas, but again, things could still change. If the models trend back to the colder solution, then maybe those higher amounts may indeed come to pass. But I'll tell you, all day today, everything's been trending warmer and warmer and warmer. So anyway, I think this may end up being the maximum amount with amounts perhaps even a little bit lesser than that. But again, we'll see about that. This is our percent chance it'll be greater than maps. So take a look at that when you get a chance. So when you I also added an ice accumulation map. And if there is any ice accumulation from freezing rain, the area in yellow is the locations we think that would occur, basically from just south of Rockingham to Laurinburg, Rayford, Fayetteville, Clinton, just south of Goldsboro. Could see just a trace to maybe 0.03 of an inch of ice accumulation. That is not enough to bring tree limbs and power lines down, so that's good news. Let me back up here, show the slides that I bypassed here. So based on those numbers that I just showed you, we reintroduced this impact severity map by area. And the bottom line here is we think the worst of the conditions, again, will be in that pink area. That area has the highest risk for heavy snow. The snow will come in a little earlier in the blue area, and that's the area most likely to remain snow through the whole event, but amounts will be lighter, fortunately. The green area, the models have trended warmer, and it will stay rain the longest in the green area. It's that area in the orange that's really problematic. Well, I expect in that orange area to see perhaps quite a bit of sleet mixing in it, for a good part of the overnight hours. Friday night, tomorrow night, into Saturday morning. So regardless, the main key thing here is, it doesn't matter whether you have, 3 to 5 inches of snow or a ½ inch of sleet mixed with, an inch or two of snow. That all it will have the same impact, which is dangerous travel conditions regardless. So if you're in an orange area, the pink area, the blue area, obviously travel conditions will be very, very hazardous. Even in the green area, Saturday during the daytime after it changes to snow, there could be a quick, 1 or 2 inches of snow that fall even in the green area, which obviously can result in hazardous driving conditions even for those areas. And I'll also point out for all of central North Carolina, there will be a risk for black ice Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, into those subsequent mornings. It's going to turn very cold, so any melting and any thawing, melting, and then refreezing cycles will happen for the next couple nights thereafter. Anyway, confidence-wise, we're pretty confident about when the precip will end and arrive, but lower confidence about any precipitation-type changeovers. That is when that will happen. You know, we've seen a lot of variability in the model, so our confidence in the exact snow and ice amounts is pretty low. But we do have high confidence that, again, regardless of whether the wintry precipitation type is snow or sleet, there'll be enough of it to cause dangerous travel conditions this weekend. So again, just another way to demonstrate the timeline. We think the worst of the conditions will be Friday night into Saturday, and Saturday night continued hazardous travel. But again, cold temperatures and black ice issues will continue Sunday night, and even into early next week. These are the maps I've already showed. I also want to point out here we lowered our temperatures a bit for the weekend into overnight. Look at these single-digit readings here. Sunday night, temperatures getting down into the teens Saturday night and Monday night. So clearly, you know, and temperatures staying below freezing in many locations. You know, especially where there's a snowpack, we may not see temperatures rise above freezing until Tuesday morning sometime. There could be several days where temperatures do not rise above freezing. So again, keep that in mind as we head through the weekend. Any other miscellaneous notes I've got listed here? Freezing rain accumulations should not result in widespread power outages. You know, we're not expecting. It could turn a little gusty, 20, 25 mile per hour wind gusts as the precipitation is winding down during the day Saturday. Otherwise, you know, we don't expect this to be a huge wind maker. I'm going to show these winter weather range of possibilities maps here in a minute, but check that out when you get a chance. And our evening shift, certainly our overnight shift will update these slides and email them out by no later than 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. These slides will be updated and emailed. We'll do it earlier if new data warrants that. So anyway, that is the briefing and the summary.